Alright, welcome back to MMA Al Dente, the only MMA YouTube channel hosted by a guy that doesn't worship Satan. This is that channel. Alright, I'm here to talk about Jinh Frey versus Polyana Viana. Should be the fourth fight of the night. And it's a compelling matchup because Polyana Viana is in this fight. She is 12-5 with 12 finishes. That's astounding. That would be astounding for a heavyweight man, let alone a female strawweight, or whatever the hell she is. But 12 victories, 12 finishes, 8 submissions, 4 TKOs or KOs, like she did knock out Amanda Hibosh. And she's also got 11 of those wins coming in round 1. So she's a first-round killer, bona fide. And her losses, 5 losses, are mostly via decision, 4 of which are decisions. But that one submission loss is to Veronica Macedo from the guard that we saw inside the UFC maybe 2 years ago or whatever. But Veronica Macedo is especially quick and dangerous from the guard. I don't think that's a path to victory for Frey. Frey is a decision fighter, and that's her path to victory here over Viana. Really, I'd say finding top position and surviving, stuffing the guard. But Jinh Frey, she's 11-7, and she's got 8 decision victories, 4 decision losses. Although if you count her Vanessa Demopoulos bullshit loss as a win, that turns into 9-3, which is 3-1. So she's 2-1 right now, which is still great, but she would be 3-1 if that decision was just. She's definitely a good decision fighter. 8-4 is better than 0-4, which is where Polyana Viana is at. And that's the distinction I'm trying to make here, is that one of them is a decision fighter, one of them is not. Polyana Viana is too accepting of bottom position, and I think that's cost her already, and I'm sure she's trying to work on that, and hopefully in this fight she does, because that's really her only path to defeat, I'd say, in this one. Jinh Frey is tough and whatever, but she's physically outmatched here. If Viana decides to fight long, Viana does have definitely reach and height. I don't know what the height is. It's either 2 inches or 5 inches of height based on Sherdog or Tapology. But it's somewhere in between, and she's definitely got reach. And despite Jinh Frey being strong, visibly stronger than Viana or anyone else, pound for pound, she's smaller, and I don't think she's as powerful. Polyana Viana, I expect to be the more powerful striker. And if she's able to fight at range without, getting muscled by Jinh Frey, despite Jinh Frey being smaller, she still, I think, would muscle Poly Viana in the clinch. But if they do fight at a distance, I think Viana wins, not just with her reach and height, but with her power. I think it'll be visible, and she'll be scoring points. She's a good enough striker, and she's good enough to give Jinh Frey a lot of trouble. And on the ground, if she gets it there in round 1 especially, I do think she can submit Jinh Frey. Not that it'll happen quickly or whatever. Jinh Frey's tightened up her defense. She's pretty much looked very good throughout her career, aside from the Kay Hansen armbar. But Polyana Viana is just, so much more quick than Kay Hansen is on the ground, where if she gets her where she wants her, which would probably be in her guard in round 1, I'd say there's a good chance she gets a submission. So overall, I do see this fight being, I sprinkled it on just submission round 1, or really finish round 1 for Viana, but I do expect it to go to a decision. And when it goes to a decision, I can't really trust either fighter. Polyana Viana, I do think, has a good chance of winning her first decision here, even though she could have won it against Hannah Cifers. But I can't trust her. She's just got too many shittier instincts. And Jinh Frey, even though I do think she's technically outmatched here, if the fight did go to a decision, you told me, all right, these two girls fought for 15 minutes, I imagine Frey just somehow or another being on top more, and she's got a good chance of winning. So I'm not touching it. I will predict that Polyana Viana wins a decision, but I'm only betting on first round finish. Plus 550 covers the knockout and the submission, which the submission is at plus 700 if you wanted a little more juice on it. But still, considering Frey's size, the fact that she has been knocked out early in round 1 and she's been submitted, even though that was in round 3, I think playing the round 1 finish prop is the only thing I really wanted to sprinkle money on. Just a sprinkle. Polyana Viana round 1 plus 550, and aside from that, there are no bets. These lines are very tight, even the money lines. If I was sure one of them would win, I would attach the money line to a parlay. And Polyana Viana, although I think she can win a decision and definitely get the first finish between these two girls, I just don't trust it to happen. So there's that. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. Like, share, subscribe, all that horse shit, and check out my other videos.